So you want to own a campground. Today it's Brad's story time. But while I'm here in the golf cart, there's one thing I keep seeing, and I don't think I ever said anything about it. This is my Brad's invention lightsaber mag light holder, which comes in handy at night. Always know where it is. It's easy to get to. It's just a piece of conduit with tire wraps and duct tape to hold to that, or a little pipe there on my club car. Anyway, Saturday I was working mostly by myself. My wife's been sick, and so she was there some, but mostly not, which was fine because we were fairly slow Saturday as far as we were full, but it wasn't a busy weekend. People were out doing things, and not many people were at the campground, so it worked out fine. At 8 o'clock, I normally am down at the pool getting it ready for the day. I don't know how much longer we'll do that, but anyway, I was this weekend and had to put in the vacuum and check the chemicals, that kind of thing. And as I was there, I noticed this Porta-John truck. That's not the brand. That's the kind of truck it was, leaving. And I'm like, okay, I don't have a Porta-John. What are they doing in here? And I was trying to think, and I figured, well, maybe somebody's black tank was clogged or something, and they were trying to use a little suction to get it opened up, which is fine. You know, if somebody has a problem like that, I want them to get it fixed. I don't mind that per se. People don't always tell you what they're doing. So I didn't know who had done that or what the problem was or where it was, but I didn't think anything else of it till about 10 o'clock or so, when I was going to clean the bathhouses. So as I'm driving up towards the bathhouse, right near them, I noticed this greenish blue sludge on the road. I'm like, what is that? And then, you know, you catch a whiff, and it's not as bad as it should have been, considering, but it was still, you knew what it was. And I'm saying, where did this come from? You know, how did this get here? And then all of a sudden, boom, hey, the truck. So I went back down to the office, pulled up our camera footage. So that's my recommendation for today. Have cameras at least at your entrance, just have a record of who's coming and going. And was able to find the name of the company on the truck, and they came in around 7 something and left around 8 something. So I don't know the exact times, it doesn't matter. So I call, and it's you know, at the time I thought it was like an answering service, because it really didn't. It was United something, and the company that's on the side of the truck wasn't the same. So I figured it wasn't the same people. It was just somebody answered the phone for them. So I said, here's my deal. I need somebody to call me because they've spilt this on my property and I need to come clean it up. And I said, do I need to call back after all this was, you know, you have to go through all this information. Finally, I said, you know, do I need to call back, or are you guys going to handle this? And somebody's going to give me, oh, they're really good about getting back with you. That's okay. So an hour later, no one had gotten back to me, and I'm saying that's enough time. So I call again, and my level of irritation is a little higher, and I tell the lady I'm not mad at her. It's not her problem, but you have to let your frustration out somewhere, and the person I'm really frustrated at, I'll never see probably, because he won't come back out there. So anyway, about the time I hang up, the phone rings, and it's like a supervisor for this company, and that is the same people. They had bought these guys out or something. So this was not a little mom and pop shop thing. This was a larger company, which should have protocols and you know, features and equipment to handle a spill, you would like to think. So I said, here's my deal, here's what's going. Can you send me a picture? I said, sure, I'll send you a picture, and I'll put that in here. There's the picture I sent him, so you'll see what I was looking at. It's not the full length, but you can tell what it is. And so I said, yeah, but you know, it's definitely, he said, maybe just a dye pack. I said, no, this is no dye pack. This is waste, and it's on my property, and I need it cleaned up. Well, I got a guy coming, you know, he'll be out there in a little while, and he'll take care of it. I said, okay, great. And so, I don't know, almost probably another hour, a guy shows up finally. I said, okay, here's where it is, come up here with me. And I said, he had like a flatbed truck that was a stake bed. That's like my terminology. It's a flat bedded truck with like a fence around it, not solid walls. And I didn't see any barrels. I didn't see any brooms. There was one guy. I'm like, okay, what's he gonna do? He doesn't have anything to clean up with. I said, you know, what's your plan here? Well, I got 300 gallons of water on here. I'm like, yeah. He said, well, I just wash it down really good and dilute it. And I'm like, do you have any cleaner or something? And he said, oh yeah, I got cleaner. So he walks around, he pulls out a squirt bottle, with them hand squirt bottles. I'm like, seriously? That's your plan? You know, you got a squirt bottle for 10 foot of sludge on my driveway? But at this point, what do? You know, it's like, it's already been an hour and a half, 2 hours since I knew it happened. No telling, it's been probably 4 hours since it happened. It's not gotten any better. And I've got one guy from the company that's come out to do something. I said, well, okay, so what's your plan? He said, well, this truck holds 3 gallons of water, and it's up like it's somewhere in the bed, and he had like a big ball valve that came out the bumper. And so his idea was to open the ball valve and just drive over the top of it a few times and wash it down into the grass. And I'm like, you know, let's see how it works. So he did it, and I said, I want you to do that one more time, at least. I said, I'm not saying, I don't think that's good enough. I want you to at least do it another time. And of course, people that are in the site near there said, hey, is that going to run into my site? I said, no, the way the water flows, it won't get in your site. I said, but still, it's not good for business to have that stuff sitting on the road, and it's not good for business to have it run in somebody's site. But what do you do? So I told the guys, hey, I want you to come back and do it again. So he left, and I'm sitting there, and I wait and wait, and I'm still doing work, but I'm, when's he gonna get back? It's been 30 minutes. It's been 45 minutes. It's been an hour. So I called that number and said, look, this guy said he was coming back with water, and I didn't see. Well, I called the supervisor number because that guy had called me, so I had his number. That's who I called. So it's been an hour, and that guy hadn't shown back up. Where's he going to get water? How long does it take to come back? He said, oh, well, I got another guy. So if he shows back up, that's great, but I still got another guy coming too. And I said, okay, I'm glad you guys are at least trying to do something. So 30 minutes later, nobody's gotten back there again. I text the guy and said, look, nobody showed up yet. What's up? Is anybody coming or not? And then I get a phone call. It's the second guy. He's coming. I'll be there in just a little bit. I'm, had this thing going on. I'm heading your way. I said, okay, fine. So he shows up with the same kind of truck that made the mess. And I'm like, okay, well, where's your cleanup equipment? I said, what's your thinking here? Well, I can suck the stuff out of that puddle there that's still there. And I got water, I can hose it off again. I'm like, really? I said, do you have any cleaner? Yeah. Same bottle of squirt. I'm like, really? You guys, what's your plan if something happens? Is this what you guys do? So I had to go do work, and I'd left him alone, and expecting, hey, this is what I did. I cleaned this up. This is where we're at today. Nope, just drove off. Didn't tell me a thing. I don't know what he did. Didn't see him do it, so I really have no idea. He might have just sat there for a while. But I was just not happy. So I contacted the guy again, left a long text about, I cannot believe that a company that handles that type of thing does not have a better way of dealing with a spill than this. And, it's already been washed away. It's not like I could call DHEC back out and say, hey, this is where it was. I could show a picture. But anyway, what do you do at that point? So Monday, the guys that I talked to and the supervisor guy showed up with another guy. And they were like, do you think maybe just a valve leaked, and he leaked, just leaked a little bit past that? Like, it wasn't a valve leaking. I can't believe that much. It just, unless he sat there for, it was leaking, and I said, you don't see a trail in and out. It's not like it was, he had to do something. I don't know if it was in a hose and he dumped a hose here, or I don't know how much it was. It was hard to tell. Because it wasn't like I just saw him do it, you know. Anyway, supposedly, and we had a long talk about their lack of preparedness for this type of incident. He said, oh, we have spill kits and all that. I said, well, nobody brought one out of here. What, you know, why not? Why was I treated this way if they have equipment to do it? Not a good answer. We'll have to talk to her about that. You know, why was the guy on my property to do this in the first place, and why'd he stop here? You know, if he had to turn around and leave, that's fine. I don't have a problem with him driving and turn around and head back out. But to make this mess, and probably know he made the mess and just leave, that I'm not happy about. You know, how did just at one spot all of a sudden spring this big leak and then not leak anywhere else? You know, if something had ruptured, I'd have had a pile of stuff all the way out of the campground. So I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So not a good solution to this situation, but while we're talking about it, people have spilt sewage on my property in the past. And how do I handle it? Nobody ever tells me. You'd like to think, Coach, say, hey, I made this mess. How do I help you clean this up? Or how do I clean it up? Give me the stuff and I'll do it. Never happened. So what we do is, depending on what it's on, we'll sweep, shovel, scrape, whatever it is, to clean up most of the solids that we can. I have a bucket, or what do you call them, like a spray bucket, you know, like a weed bucket, probably 3 gallon, 2.5 gallon, that I have pre-mixed bleach and water, 10% concoction that I keep on hand, and we spray. After we do that, we really hose it down with the whole thing, or if I have to make another one, I'll make another one to do our best to kill all the germs. I did some research, and they don't even say anything like that. The ones I've read has mostly been just using lime, regular old, you know, not pelletized, but like the crushed white lime for your yard. It says mix that in there, and if you have to, you know, put it in pretty thick, and if you have to mix it up to absorb the moisture, I guess. I would still do that and still use my bleach if it was me. That's how I would handle it. I never heard of the lime part before. So that's Brad's story time for this weekend. I hope there's a little information there for you, because if you're gonna do this, you're gonna have a problem down the road. You're gonna have a spill. It's just the way it is. Maybe you won't have a septic tank guy come and dump on your property, but you'll have a camper that didn't hook his sewer line up good, or had one break or something. You'll have to deal with. So just every job has something, and that's part of this one. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the box, and I'll try to get to you as I can. Thank you.